Although we've made this documentary, but still every time one sees it, one is reminded of all the research that we went through. And what you're seeing is just, a very small part of it. But these long interviews that we took of the people and the way they poured their hearts out in front of us. So I don't know how to really appreciate this, but it is very, very difficult for people to open up their wounds to strangers, and especially the wounds which they have kept hidden away for 30 years. And the Kashmiri Pandit community trusted us with, their pain. They told us the stories that they have never spoken about. Even within families, they had stopped discussing about the incidents and the way they were driven out of the valley, but they opened up, and we told them that they won't be disappointed when they see the film. A lot of times in the past, if you've seen, there have been several films made on Kashmir. And the biggest of directors have made, films which have Kashmir as the backdrop. And unfortunately, not a single film even mentioned the word Kashmiri Pandit. And believe you me, I see a lot of students here. All this happened in Kashmir when I was your age. And I was working and leading a good life in my city in Mumbai. And I came to know about this only when I was 50 years old. And I can't even begin to tell you the shock that, I got when I realized that for 30 years, this happened, and I've, been leading a comfortable life, enjoying my life, enjoying my profession, enjoying my children. And there are our brothers and sisters living in Kashmir, were thrown out. And such horrendous things have happened to them, and we didn't even come to know about it. It was only when the research started that my first instance, when Vivek came and told me about this, my first reaction was, yes, of course, we know about the Armenian genocide, we know about the Rwandan genocide, we've heard of the plight of the Yazidis, we had seen 20 years ago what had happened to the Afghani Muslims. What about this? What about Kashmir? And then when, it started peeling, every single layer, you also realize that not only this entire community has been forced to leave the valley, forced to leave their homes behind, their ancestral properties behind. And when I say home, I also mean memories. Today when you go back home, you have your albums. Some of the students who are here from India, your mothers have your albums. They can look at your pictures when you were children. These people didn't bring albums with them. Most of them left with nothing. Most of them left with the clothes that they were wearing. They couldn't even pack anything. And to leave your memories behind, to not carry whatever number of years you've led in a certain place, to have it completely written off, erased from, any physical memory. It's a very difficult situation to be in. However, to cut the long story short, we made the film, and you have seen in the video how people connected with the film. And it was not just the Kashmiri Pandits, but Indians at large connected with the film, because like me, not many of them knew about the truth. And I think the biggest achievement of this film is that it has been one of the most reviewed films on the internet. And it was not just the Indians who were reviewing it. We got excellent reviews from our neighboring country, Pakistan. You can go on the internet and you can check the reviews yourself. I have a homeopathic doctor in Bombay. And there is a junior doctor who works with him. And I always kept telling her that, you have beautiful skin. You're so good looking. It was only when she saw the film that she wrote to me. And that was the time that I realized that she's an Afghani Muslim. And she wrote to me saying that this film has moved me so much. I can't even begin to tell you. I know how my parents have left Afghanistan a couple of months ago. And I feel the pain. So every persecuted community in the world has gone through the same thing. It's not about a religion. It's not about just Hindus, or it's not just about Muslims. Every single persecuted community has the same story to tell. And that's why this film, we decided to dedicate to all the persecuted communities. And this film should be about humanity. It should be about healing. We received a lot of letters from the Kashmiri Pandit community also. How many of you have seen the film? Yeah. Okay, most of you have seen the film. There is the first incident in the film where a telecom engineer, Dr. B.K. Ganju, was killed in a rice drum. His daughter wrote to us, and she said that for the last 30 years, we've never spoken about this incident. We've decided not to speak about my father because it was too painful. And you showed his sacrifice. He stayed behind so that, because the army needed, to be connected. So he said that even if I leave the valley, the connection will be snapped. So he decided to stay back, and that's how he was targeted and killed. So she wrote to us saying that my father's sacrifice was shown in the film. And after 30 years, for the first time, we all sat down and we started talking about him. And we started celebrating his life. And my mother has been a physical wreck ever since that incident. But at least the healing process has begun. Similarly, we got a letter from Girja Tiku's brother, whose death was shown in the end, but Girja Tiku was unfortunately gang raped and cut alive on a sawing machine. Her brother had come to see the film in US, and he also wrote the same thing to us, saying that the process of healing has begun because we never spoke about our sister. It used to send shivers down our spine even to mention her name. But after seeing this film, the entire family got on a Zoom call and we started, we just spent 1 hour talking about her. So these are the things that I think the film has achieved, and this means a great deal to us as filmmakers, because this hasn't just remained an ordinary film. Back in India, there are so many people like, the istriwalas, the rickshawalas. They decided to iron young boys and girls' clothes free of cost. They said, spend this money on the ticket, go and watch the film. Rickshaw rides were given free to young boys and girls, and and we have videos. They're all over internet. नहीं आप फिल्म देखिए जाके, हमें पैसे मत दीजिए, आप फिल्म देखिए. So this truly became a people's film. And all of you who have seen this film, I must say a big thank you to all of you for the support that we received from you. And so here we are with this film. And this tour of humanity, we hope to achieve a common place where all of us can come together as human beings without discriminating between our colors or caste or faith, to just come together and try and take a vow, if possible, to make this entire world terror-free and live peacefully and happily and coexist with each other. Thank you very much.